Hey guys, welcome to Top Percentile. My name is Anay Dave and I scored a 99.99 percentile in Series 2020. Today's topic is actually a really fun one. I think this is something that I really enjoy talking about, and it's something related to strategy, and it's related to each and every topic as well. So I think I have a lot to speak about in today's video. I'll try to keep it short, but today's topic is about how you should select which questions to attempt, which topics to attempt, and what you should be leaving in the final exam, the mocks, etc., everything. We had a couple of people reach out to me recently asking, how do you get minimum 120? Rather than doing that, I'm going to answer what you should not attempt or what you should, think about things that you would not be able to attempt in the final paper, attempt everything else. That's how you get marks. Just inverting the question, that's how I would like to think about it. And again, this is a very personal thing. I might decide differently based on the question. I might decide differently based on what I'm feeling that day. If I'm feeling that day, the questions, even if I am feeling that verbal is tougher, but it might not be, I might change my strategy. I might change my strategy based on whether that topic has much tougher questions. So this is not a fixed thing, but in general, this is how I would go about it. I'm just going to share my screen and show you guys what the CET syllabus looks like and how you go about selecting questions like this. If you take a screenshot of the photo, you'll directly come to know exactly how the entire thing works out. So you know what? Let's just go for it directly. I think it should be visible about now. I hope it's visible. I'm not sure if it is. But in any case, this is what I wanted to show. It's pretty basic after a point. Let me just place myself somewhere. Yeah. So the idea here is that we have divided, obviously, this is a CT syllabus, but the names in green are the ones that you definitely should attempt. These are usually the questions that are so simple that you don't need any kind of understanding or much work to go through it and to do. So if I look at syllogisms, inequalities, these questions are just, they should not take more than 40 seconds to solve. If you are someone who's taking more than 40 seconds to solve these questions, please work on it. Think about why you are taking much longer to solve it. And if you need better ways to solve any of these, if you need better methods to solve any of these questions, these chapters are exactly the ones that we've covered in our CET course. You can find out the course on toppercentile.co.in. You'll find the link in the description. We have a flash sale going on right now, and it's going to continue for a while. So please check it out if you're interested. We have, in fact, last year we had 13 students in JBIMS from the batch. So we've luckily done pretty well for the first year. We want to do better this year. We want to take a much better portion of our students into JBIMS batch of 2024. Exam is supposed to happen in August as of now. In case there are any changes because of DT, please don't blame me. I am just saying what is there right now. Today's date is the start of July. So if anything, don't blame me after this if it changes. But I'll just go through each and every topic here about how you should go about things. In logical, you have these topics are mainly traditional logic, where you don't require too much understanding of it. Input, output, data sufficiency, and selection criteria. These are usually much longer. Data sufficiency means a lot of thinking. You are making assumptions. You are thinking of different patterns where it might not work out, different structures or different areas where it might not work, where you might have gaps in your understanding of whether a statement will be true or false. So you leave data sufficiency for later. But each and every other one that's highlighted in green, you have to do it fast. It has to be done easily. And if you want to know which subjects you have to study first, this is what you have to do. We've already made a video on plan for studying, and we've divided into 3 parts. So if you want an even more refined version, please see Shreekanth's video on that. But this is about what you should definitely attempt in the first round if the questions are easy, right? When it comes to logical, this is what you have to do. Blood relations are pretty easy how it comes in CET. Coding, decoding is straightforward. Direction sense is probably the most basic question which you cannot go wrong in. Miscellaneous traditional logic. This is, it gets tricky sometimes, but if you've practiced aptitude tests, you should be able to get traditional logic as well. Linear puzzles, linear, parallel, and matrix. These 3, and in fact, even floor-based. These questions are pretty easy if you practice them. Circular can get difficult based on where they are sitting. Same square, rectangle. Miscellaneous would be the toughest because that would have miscellaneous would have maybe a triangle shape, or they would add blood relations to the table, and they'd add a couple of things that you might not be able to do it. So this definitely is much later. When it comes to quant, here, one thing that I would like to highlight is that it depends on the question rather than the topic. In percentages, you might have a question that's very easy. You might be able to solve it, you might be able to solve it in 40 seconds, but same time, there might be a percentage question that takes 2 minutes to solve just because the numbers are much harder. So take this with a pinch of salt that even though I've highlighted all these in green, based on the numbers that they asked on that day, they might not be greens. And you might think that logs or progression might be a lot easier. Logs, progressions, and geometry, by the way, even numbers, so if you again go back to Shreekanth's video, he'll explain exactly in detail that these are not questions that are asked much. Progressions, logs, PNCs, numbers, geometry. You probably have a total of 5 questions in this, but the amount of effort you need to put in to study this would be hours and hours and hours of work. Sometimes it's not worth putting that effort in, so it's up to you if you want to put it in. If you want to go for top score, I'd suggest do it. But keep that in mind that your 3 hours of effort might just give you 1 mark in the final exam, which might make a difference. It's up to you to do it. But this would be how I'd go about it, because these are questions where you can easily solve it, right? You can easily solve it and go ahead. You can easily use options to go ahead. The formulas are not difficult. The question types are usually much easier and much more basic in comparison to what it would be in time, speed, distance, or permutation combination. Those are much tougher. The green ones are a lot easier. So this would be my suggestion for what you're attempting first in the quant section. When it comes to verbal, if you notice, probable starters are the ones that takes more time to understand because you need to figure out the context of it. Whereas sentence connectors is just something you read one sentence, you read the other, you just know how to fix both of them together. Close test is just fill in the blanks. Wo bhi easy ho jata. Same sentence errors. It becomes easy with practice. If you've not practiced, please go through grammar rules. If you don't know where to find grammar rules, it's available online. We have it in our course as well. So you can ask us if you don't have it so far, leave a comment. We'll try to help you out. But RCs, parajumbles, and probable starters are what I'd say take a lot longer, especially parajumbles. Parajumbles take the longest time to do because there's so much variability in that. It is not meant to be a type of question. When a paragraph is written, the author doesn't expect it to be jumbled and asked that they say they don't expect that, right? They just expect it to be understood well. So sometimes parajumbles get confusing, which is why you would attempt that much later compared to the others. When it comes to critical reasoning, you are thinking of what are the aspects that make a question easier. In my opinion, when you think of course of action, it's much more logical. If X happens, Y is the first, like option Y is the first thing that you would do, and option Z will be extreme, very extreme. So you should be able to guess between the two things why it's going out. So in that case, when I think of assumptions, it is more like it's implicit, right? Assumptions are implicit and behind the argument, so it's difficult to understand. Statement conclusions, it's not bad, but sometimes it gets confusing whether it's a conclusion or assumption. That gets a little confusing, or if it's an inference that you're making, not a conclusion. I think it's, yeah, between inference and conclusion becomes a problem. So between those two you need to keep in mind. Course of action, on the other hand, as I mentioned, it's pretty easy. Cause and effect gets a little confusing at times because you get confused between whether it's a causal relationship or just, it's a causation or correlation essentially, and whether it makes sense, it's a cause or effect. Assertion and reasoning doesn't come much in CET. That's why I've kept it wide. But again, it depends on whether you've experienced questions or whether you solved questions earlier or not on assertion and reasoning. Strong and weak arguments, in my opinion, once you solve a couple of questions, you kind of get a hang of what a strong argument is, what a weak argument is. That kind of helps you understand assumptions as well. But again, practice makes you perfect. If you are good at it, it'll be easy. It'll definitely be green. So if you've noticed in critical reasoning, there are very few things that are green, but these are the questions that they ask. Like usually it is these, like it's usually, it's pretty well divided across things, but you can do course of action and strong and weak arguments will be sorted for a couple of questions at least. I think 5 questions should be done out of the 10 or 15 that come in critical reasoning. You should be good. When it comes to abstract, I don't see any reason why you should not attempt all parts of it. The division between abstract 1 and abstract 2 was something that we've done in our course. In the video, I think abstract 1 is about general abstract solving and abstract 2 is a faster method of solving. But here I would like to categorize it as the first level where we are thinking of abstract as, series or mirror, or the series, or, what is it called? They'll give you one image, another image, and same pattern, the pattern recognition kind of thing. The second type would be the square paper folding or the cubes and all of that. in my opinion, even though abstract 2 is a lot tougher, we need to visualize things a lot more. I still don't see a reason why you shouldn't do it unless you're not getting it on the day of the exam. That's a different thing. And to wrap it up, DI, I feel like I would have put all in green, but I have heard that a lot of people are not managing calculations well. So in case your calculations are not good, I would put what I've done right now, make sure approximations are strong. If you want to make a video on how to make approximations soon, that might help you do that better. But the main idea here is that if your calculations are good, you should be able to do all of it fast. It is not a matter of speed. It's just about doing it as fast as you can and getting through things. It is not difficult. DI and CT is not difficult at all. It becomes pretty easy to do after a point of time, but just keep practicing that. So, to be honest, I'm just going to make all of these green. I changed my mind. Everyone should do all of DI. I think you should focus on DI and abstract as your main scoring points. You can get a good 25 marks in DI, 25 in abstract, 25 in DI, so total of 50 marks. Don't leave this. Don't leave these 50 marks, making all of it green. Please take a screenshot of this one and not the early one in case you've taken it already. Focus on this. I'm giving you a goal. These are the first questions that you have to attempt. I've made your round one a lot easier. In case you have a jumbled paper, these are the questions that you attempt. So if you ever ask me how to attempt questions in jumbled pattern, find these questions in jumbled and solve them. That's how I'd say do it. Over time, you yourself will understand how to solve questions fast and how to go about things, and that's when you'll get perfect understanding of things. But that takes time to do. Right now, my suggestion would be to take guidance of what we are saying, use that in a couple of mocks. Yourself will do better in the future mocks about how to go about, how to answer things better after a point of time. So that's up to you after that point of time. But right now, this is what I'd suggest. And if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments below. I hope this video is useful. I'm trying not to talk too much about this. I'm sure I've blabbered on about a couple of things here. But again, if any questions, feedback, drop it in the comments. We'll be reading all of them. Hope you guys liked it. See you in the next one. Thank you so much. See you.